Hello, everyone. This is Jorge Diaz, president and founder of Larry Jacob Internet Marketing, and I'm bringing you another episode of Defining Infusionsoft Success. This week, I'm here with Bryce Christopherson, right? I'm sorry, did I get that wrong? Christiansen, sorry about that. And we are going to go over PlusThis. Bryce, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no, it's always great. We haven't talked for a while, so this is good to be able to catch up again.
Yeah, no, and you've been on this program at least once. We had one that was kind of interesting because we actually had one of your maintenance guys come out of the roof behind you and then go back up. So it was actually one of the more interesting recordings that we've had. But they've all been related to PlusThis and some of the features. And a couple weeks back, I was noticing you announcing several of the features that you guys are releasing, and I go, there's some interesting, they're very niche features, but they're ones that when you need them can't be done other ways. So I figured it'd be a great time for us to catch up on those.
Yeah, no, happy to talk about them. So where should we start? Should we just go down the list?
Yeah. So there are three specific ones, and then Bryce is going to give us a little bit of a highlight of some of the things that are to come. But yeah, why don't we start with the calendaring one?
Yeah, so we hired a new developer. And he's been amazing. Like, this is someone we just got out of college, and he picked up our stuff really quickly. So his name's Christian. I want to give him credit for what he did because it's really cool what he's working on. And he created these three features that we're going to talk about. First one is add to calendar. So if any of you are familiar with our webinar tools, we have at the end of that a way for you to put in an add to calendar link for your webinars, right? So it's really easy for people when they register for your webinar to get a follow-up email that says, hey, click this link if you want to add it to your iCal or if you want to add it to Google. So they're more likely to show up and attend and all that good stuff. And what we heard from a lot of our users was they wanted to be able to use that on other things for like other events that aren't necessarily webinars,
sure.
Things like that. So we went ahead and we created that feature on its own for you to use for any kind of like in-person events, workshops, appointments, anything you want to do where an add a calendar link would be helpful.
Right. So I could come up and invite someone to an event that's, I don't know, April 25th, 2:00 Eastern time, and then I can send them a confirmation link, of course, with that information, but it's like, click here to put it on your calendar, and boom, it does its thing. Yeah,
it does its thing. The other cool part of this is that you can now tie it to dates inside of your CRM. So if you have like a custom field for a recurring date that happens all the time, you can use one add a calendar link to basically reference that date in that field whenever you want to add that in there.
Okay, so it's gonna use an Infusionsoft custom date time field, right?
Yeah. So you have two options. You can do the fixed date stuff, where it's like, yeah, we know it's this date at this time, or you can do a custom field date. So if it's something that changes or could be updated or whatever, then you can just use that too.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, that's a really nice, feature. I know there are a couple times when I've wanted to do that, and as a matter of fact, I remember a couple years trying to come up with my own version of something like that, and it's just so much work. And then it's like, which kind of calendar you have. I mean, there's a whole bunch of details, things that can go wrong. So this kind of gets past all that.
No, totally. Yeah, so that's the added calendar link. It's pretty simple to use, and it's very useful for a lot of different situations. So we were happy to be able to get that out there. We have some big companies using it too, like Lead Pages. They were one of the guys that actually asked us to be able to do that because they were using our stuff for webinars, and they really love that feature, but they want to be able to use that calendar for other stuff too. So
there you go.
It's awesome. There's some cool use cases from it already. The second feature is action links. So this is one I'm really excited about. I want to share my screen and show you something here. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, go ahead. If you share your screen, it'll probably push our heads to the left there, to the right.
All right. Let's see if we can see this. So action links are something where we made it so people can get tagged when they go to your website and click on different buttons. So here's a little demo I made where we might have someone who signs up for a free trial PlusThis, right? And then as part of that promotion or that special giveaway, we let them pick a campaign that we will push into their app as a bonus. And yeah, you could maybe mention these things in like an email, but sometimes it's better to be able to show visuals or give them a little bit more description, and you use your website to do that. So you want to be able to send them a link where they click on it, they go to your web page, and now they can pick a campaign, or they can pick something from clicking one of these buttons. And now Infusionsoft knows which one they picked, and it tags them, and now you can deliver whatever it was that they did on your website. So that's a really cool new feature. I'm sure there's a lot of creative ways that people will figure out how to use this.
Okay, now
I know you, yeah.
I missed something here. So the countdown timer campaign, I'm clicking on there. Now, what's optional here, or what's different?
Yeah, so what it does is normally if someone clicks from your email inside of Infusionsoft and then goes to your website and starts clicking on things, Infusionsoft's not going to know like what they've been doing on your website, right? They're not going to know if you clicked a certain button or not. So what this does is it allows you to have it. So we have a little script that we put on the website, and it's tracking which buttons they're clicking on this page.
Okay, so that button is using some sort of short code that you provide us, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
so
and then when I click on it, that button forces a specific tag to be set for the contact.
You got it. Exactly.
Oh, I can see a lot of reasons why I want that.
Yeah, and you do a lot of the membership site stuff, so I'm sure this is a big thing that you can do with membership sites.
Well, the thing is, it's really cool because now if you're in a membership site, it's easy to do that because I know who you are. And when you click on something, I can take action, and Memberium provides you with the short codes. But if I'm on a www site, I don't know who you are. But if you came to the site using an email that I gave you, you must be cooking them or something so that it knows who you are. And then these pages come alive only because it knows who you are specifically.
Exactly. Yep, that's what we're doing there. And we are cooking them too. So if they come back later and they click on it, we'll still know that that was them.
Oh, okay. This is cool. It's almost like you got a quasi-membership-ish sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And then the last feature that we just released too is called Contact Creator. And so this came from a lot of our people that do events. And the problem or the pain that people were having was if you're running an event, and I'm sure this could apply to other things too, but I think the event analogy makes a lot of sense to most people. You might have a situation where you have a form for someone to register, right? And so you register for that event, and you're probably coming with a couple guests. So you have like their information that you're putting in there as well. But normally if they fill out that information, you can't make all those guests their own contact.
Okay.
So what we did was we made something called a contact creator, where now when you have a form, you'll have like your registration form, and it's to put in your first name, last name, email, phone number, that kind of stuff. Then you'll have a little bit later down on the form, you might have like guest one. And then again, you'll ask for their first name, last name, email, phone. But you don't want those fields to override the original registers fields. So what we do with PlusThis is we store those all in their own fields, and then we map them to a new contact that we create based on that as well. So we create a contact for your guests, and then we map their first name, their email, all that stuff that they entered on from that form into that new contact. And you can do that for as many contacts as you want. So pretty cool.
So you were explaining this before the call. So
yeah.
So I would come up and have a form, and at the bottom it's like, let's say, I don't know, I'm allowed to invite 2 guests or 3 guests, whatever the number is. Yep. I could create additional custom fields in my contact record. And then I make a call to PlusThis, and it plucks that information out and creates a new member, right? Or a new contact in the Infusionsoft database.
You're describing it perfectly. Like, I know it's a lot easier sometimes with visuals.
No, for sure. And then let me ask you, if the person's already in the database, would it like duplicate?
Yeah, if they're already in the database, it'll check for that too. So it'll check.
Oh, okay, so it might just be adding things.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so you're seeing it right here, the mapping that you're doing with these, how you can add multiple ones. You can add more field maps. So if you're doing name, email, and so on, you can keep going for as many contacts as you need to add for that form. So pretty cool little nifty feature there. So that's kind of what's come out recently with PlusThis and coming out from one of our new guys. So that's really cool to see, like, us getting ramped up on even more speedy delivery on new features. So,
well, I tell you what, it looks like this young guy that you've got on your team is a winner there. You got yourself a good hire.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah. Now let me ask you. You know, it's interesting because you know, products like yours are around because Infusionsoft has these gaps and functions that people need, and you know, as a matter of fact, all three of these aren't ones that I would anticipate that Infusionsoft, you know, would be releasing something to substitute this.
Yeah, no, these should be things that will be around for a while, and we know we've been hearing them on our user base. So we have a forum where people and our current existing users put in different features that they would like to see, or problems that they're having that they would like us to help address with their CRMs. And these three have been some of the higher ones in the recent couple months.
Nice.
So they have a lot of needs for them, and we're supporting them as they come out. So it's pretty cool.
Cool. So why don't you unshare your screen for a minute here?
Sure.
And it seems like you now look like this dark shadow again. I think it's because you moved a little bit, but that's fine.
The sun changes. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, we're both in actually sunshine states. I mean, I'm here.
Yeah.
I got to turn this thing off or I get kind of that same effect. But for those of you that are up north suffering through the snow, you know, here's what Miami and Arizona look like this time of year.
Yeah.
But hey, so one last thing. Why don't you fill us in on what we can expect is coming like in the next couple months?
Yeah, so what we decided to do in the next couple months is to kind of retouch some of our biggest used features, right? We did a survey recently to find out, like, what are the features that most of our users love to use, and have constantly been giving us more feedback on, like, what they would want to add to it. And one of the main ones has been smart links. And so as we've grown our library with other features like scarcity triggers, time frame, and stuff like that, they've been asking us, like, it would be really cool if smart links could tie to those other features too.
Gotcha.
And so we've gone ahead, and one of the new things that will be coming out here soon is our update to smart links, where we can do some really cool things. And I'm going to save some of that for when we release, but one of the neat things that's being added to it is the ability to add more scarcity to your links. And so one example of what you'll be able to do with these smart links in the new version is you'll be able to do things like apply a tag to the first 10 people that click a link. So you can do some really cool things where it's like, hey, this is real urgency, and it gets action really quickly, and it's going to be unique and make you stand out. People are going to be asking, like, how'd you do that kind of stuff? So
so for people who aren't real familiar with smart links allows you to say, go to this link if someone has a tag, or go to this other link if they don't have a tag. And you're kind of up in that, which means that, you know, I would only allow the first 10 people that access the smart link to get through. Otherwise it would kind of expire, and then people would go, hey, sorry, you know, the first 10 of those were given away. So, you know, here's
the next offer. Yep, exactly. No, it's a really cool feature. That's one small part of what's getting added to it. There's a whole bunch more that's getting added to. And it's going to probably be one of my favorite features. It's always been one of my favorite features, but the new stuff that's adding to it, I'm just going to be using it in every campaign, no matter what. So,
yeah, you know, and it's interesting because those are ones that if you worked really hard, you could actually do that without using the smart link, but you have to work really hard. So those smart links are actually really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, and by the way, the one with having like 10 pages or, you know, 5, that's something that would require some heavy API programming. And then you're taking that off of our plate, which is kind of a treat.
Yeah, no, we've had a lot of people that basically use smart links for almost every one of their expiring offers. So it's exciting to see it being used for a lot of other things too now.
Cool. Well, hey, thank you so much for the update. I think this is valuable. I know that for me, it's really cool because I kind of see, you know, I read through some of the fine print, but it's almost like I've got a number of questions, and by putting you on the show, I'm like, okay, I get it. I know what these features are. And the day that I need that feature, I know, oh, PlusThis has it. So
yeah, totally.
That gives me the upper hand by staying in contact with you guys.
No, I appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
It's cool. So if anybody is interested in learning more about this, where would they go?
If you go to our website, we're constantly adding new pages for our new features on the features page. You can check out the blogs. We'll have little demos and things on there. And if you sign up for like any of our offers, like Campaigns of the Titans and other things that are out, you'll be able to stay up to date on some new stuff if you aren't already a member of PlusThis.
Cool. Okay. Well, we'll publish a link to your site along with this blog when we put it up. And thank you so much for your time today, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks.